Hey everybody, I'm back at it again. And as the people I've been speaking to keep telling me that they like the Factotem videos and that they're pretty good. Unfortunately, I have to take it with a grain of salt as the numbers just don't bear out. But since we've established that I'll never be a YouTube star, I'll make the videos I like. Although I'm going to make them shorter and more like quizzes. And I shall call them the Factotem, Rise of the Mini-Facts. How many hemispheres does Africa rest in? It spans all 4 hemispheres and covers nearly 12 million square miles. The world's first animated feature film was made by Disney. Even if you know a lot about Disney trivia, you might assume that the honor of the first animated feature film belongs to Walt Disney's 1937 movie, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. But 20 years earlier, a full-length animated feature film was made in Argentina. It was a political satire called El Apostol, made of 58,000 drawings and had a running time of 70 minutes. The Philippines consist of 1,000 islands. The Philippines is an archipelago, which means it's made up of a group of islands, 7,641 islands to be exact. And that figure does not take into account the thousands of sandbars and other landforms that emerge during low tide. What is the longest railroad in the world? Now, had you asked me that question before 2011, I would have said the Trans-Siberian Railway in Russia, completed in 1916 at 5,772 miles. But now the longest railroad in the world is the China-Europe Block Train, completed in 2011 at 8,077 miles, running through Spain, France, Germany, Poland, Belarus, Russia, Kazakhstan, and China. People once ate arsenic to improve their skin. You've probably heard about how a lot of commonly used cosmetics in the Victorian ages were riddled with arsenic. But it gets worse. There were also products in the market in the late 19th century, like Dr. James P. Campbell's safe arsenic complexion wafers, that were meant to be eaten. They claimed to get rid of freckles, blackheads, and other facial disfigurements. But I guess when you're dead, you don't have those problems anymore. The first person processed at Ellis Island was a 15-year-old girl from Ireland. On January 1st, 1892, Annie Moore was the first passenger to disembark at Ellis Island on its opening day. She had traveled to the United States with her 2 brothers aboard the SS Nevada after departing from Queenstown, Ireland, now known as Cobb. Limes float, but lemons sink. Because limes are denser than lemons, they drop to the bottom of the glass, while lemons float to the top. Samsung tests phone durability with butt-shaped robots. People stash their phones in their back pockets all the time, which is why Samsung created a robot shaped like a butt to sit on their phones and make sure they could take the pressure. Believe it or not, the robots even wear jeans. Chicago's nickname the Windy City was named for the city's weather. Chicago is not the windiest city in the United States. The honor goes to Boston, Massachusetts, which boasts wind speeds that are regularly up to 2 miles per hour faster than Chicago's. In fact, Chicago doesn't even rank at the top 10 list of wind speeds in America. So why is Chicago named the Windy City? Believe it or not, the nickname was coined by a New York reporter by the name of Charles A. Dana in 1893, who editorialized that the city's politicians were full of hot air. Chicago and New York were in a head-to-head competition at the time to host the next World's Fair, and Chicago's windbag advocates were not shy about campaigning for their own hometown in order to win. Despite Dana's best efforts to discredit Chicago as a windy city, the 1893 World's Fair was held in Illinois and not New York. Peanuts aren't nuts. They're legumes. According to Merriam-Webster, a nut is only a nut if it's a hard-shelled dry fruit or seed with a separable rind or a shell with an interior kernel. This means walnuts, almonds, cashews, and pistachios aren't nuts either. They're seeds. There's only one letter that does not appear in any U.S. state name. You'll find a Z in Arizona, a J in New Jersey, and even 2 X's in New Mexico and Texas, but not a single Q. Well, that's it for this time. What'd you think of the shorter content? How many did you already know? Leave a comment below. And if there are any factoids you would like to add, let me know. And if you like content, please like and subscribe. I don't really care about the bell, but if you want to press that too, who am I to judge? Thanks for spending the time and taking the ride. We'll see you next time.